To other news we're following closer to home now, the SIU has invoked its mandate after a multi-vehicle crash overnight in Scarborough. CB24's Andrew Brennan joins us from the scene at Kingston Road and Lawrence with the latest. Andrew?
Well, Melissa, we now know why the Special Investigations Unit was called in. And this is because their mandate is when police are involved in some sort of incident with the public, they're to investigate. We now know why. I have this coming from the SIU a few minutes ago, and I'm going to read the timeline they give us. Just before 1 a.m., they say that police officers saw a that were in a marked cruiser began pursuing a driver for speeding. They say that there was a collision here involving that driver and at least one other vehicle. There were 3 involved.
I want you to take a look at how bad this scene actually looks right now. Just look how much destruction there is in this scene that you're looking at.
According to police, 2 that were implicated seriously. And they say that this driver ultimately was taken to hospital, and a 14-year-old male driver at that was behind the wheel, according to the SIU. Now, we have not heard anything following this from Toronto police.
So a 14-year-old driver was behind the wheel of this vehicle. So now over this last almost month, right, I've been speaking to you about 12-year-olds charged with attempted murder, 12-year-old charged with murder, bad violent assaults at the same time with 12 years old, another 14-year-old for murder as well. And these are all people who have been laid out on bail. But this is beyond bail at this point and things that need to change in regard to the law. There is something else that we need to discuss that is glaring. I'll get to it in a second.
SIU, as you put it, invokes its mandate. Normally, Toronto police stop talking. They say no comment after that. They are able to, but a lot of the times don't for the sake of the integrity of the SIU's investigation. So we can't say right now if this driver has been charged at this point, this alleged driver behind the wheel, this 14-year-old boy. We do know that 2 people, according to EMS, were taken to hospital, and there was also a child on scene that thankfully did not require attention in hospital from medical professionals. That being said, not many people here half a day later seeing what happened last night. But we did hear from Patrick, who lives in the high rise that looks down on Lawrence and Kingston Road. And this is what he told us.
Around about 12:50, 1 o'clock, I heard a loud bang. And then I heard sirens, and I came down to see what was going on. And that's when everything started rolling in. Saw the vehicles here, saw the police here. And then fire trucks came in, ambulance came in, and I just sort of watched the action unfold. Took a bunch of pictures. I got like 30 or 40 pictures. And now we've been waiting for the SIU to investigate. That's why it's been held.
And still being held right now. You can see just from these close-ups coming from our cameraman right now. Well, there are pieces of mangled metal, mostly aluminum, but you're talking about glass and plastic as well that litter this street. That front bumper, I'm thinking, is from this vehicle. It's as though hard to tell which of the 2 white vehicles still in the road this comes from. But you're talking about a front bumper that's 40 feet from one vehicle or 25 from the other. And by the way, that vehicle is completely spun around and facing the other direction. So that's a lot of different pieces of debris here, showing just how, and I've said this word before, and this is like in the way, the most negative connotation possible, the most spectacular way to that this, all went down. Spectacular being the word, just seeing how far things are from these vehicles. Thankfully, like we said before, 2 people hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries, meaning that everyone seemingly is coming away from this spectacular crash that the SIU says involves a police pursuit of a 14-year-old driver. Thankfully, no one will lose their life. That ultimately, while this looks on face value to be so serious, that ultimately in the end, no one's life will be lost. And I'm assuming police are continuing their investigation in tandem, or I should say separately, from the SIU investigation. And when we do potentially get word from police following the conclusion of the SIU's investigation, we'll have to see what potential charges could be laid against this alleged 14-year-old behind the wheel. I'll send it back to you, Melissa.
Okay.
So, as I was mentioning before, because, I mentioned to you that I've already done a few podcasts this past month talking about, 12-year-olds committing murder and attempted murder, already being released on bail. Another 14-year-old goes down with murder as well. And now you're seeing a case like this. And I mentioned to you before, again, close to 1 o'clock in the morning, 14-year-old in a vehicle, police pursuit. And so the problem that I'm starting to see here is beyond a jail and bail kind of thing. A big part of the problem is that there is a parenting problem at this point. Clearly, there's a parenting problem here because how a 14-year-old has access to a vehicle at that time in the morning. Where are your parents? Where are your guardians? And so we're seeing this over and over and over again. And now these are the questions that I really have to ask. Who is parenting these children? Who is the company or who are the people around them? Because this is unbelievable to me. A lot of these things are just happening younger and younger and younger. But at some point, we do have to ask ourselves, who the hell are these parents taking care of these kids? What are they teaching them? What are they instilling in these kids? Were they getting and learning this type of behavior on their watch as a parent? To the fact that, okay, he was in the car, so you get the keys to the car. It's at close to 1 o'clock in the morning. And then on top of that, you're running now from the police to the point where you get in an accident that looks absolutely crazy. How nobody died in this thing, only God knows at this point. And that's the thing that makes it even worse. Like if this kid does something like this and he kills himself, that's one thing. But now you're going to take somebody else down with you. Nothing to do with this. You just end up like this is insanity. It's insanity. And it seems like right now in the GTA, aside from having a crazy catch and release policy with a lot of these criminals, now we have a serious parenting problem at the same damn time. And with the laws that we have, who knows if this kid is going to be held accountable for anything? Who knows if he's going to be accountable for anything? Probably not. From what we have seen, probably not. But I guess we'll have to wait and see what the update is on this. But ladies and gentlemen, people who are watching this, whoever you are, who comes across this, whether it's one person, 2, 5, 10, if you are an adult, please watch what is going on with your children. Because if this kid went out there and killed someone, this becomes exponentially worse. He is very lucky that no one died. Very lucky that no one died, because even in an incident like this, yes, at 14 years old, he knows not to do this. They said it was a 14-year-old boy. He knows not to do this. So the fact that he did it anyway, a lot of the time, or at least close to 100% of the time, guess where we're looking? We're looking in the direction of the parents. Because somebody has to be held accountable. Yes, the young man will be held accountable, hopefully, but there needs to also be accountability with the parents, whether you like it or not.